Oh my. So this is Kevin Crudder and Donna Yakovlevich playing
Beethoven.
And which particular?
Yeah, all I know is the first of 3 duos that were originally written for clarinet and bassoon, and were arranged by a very fine German violinist whose name escapes me quite a long time ago.
I'm going to join you just for this discussion, and then when we play more music I will go back. So what was that like playing that here on CCTV? What a treat for us, yes?
Well, you know, it's always interesting to come into a new room, and the acoustic's different. We're accommodating the technical setup, so we're used to kind of facing each other. So there was some flexibility that we had to have because of the confines of the room.
Yes.
And a little bit more intuition, I think, in our interaction, because we couldn't visually interact. So fortunately, we've been playing a little bit together, and we have a sense of, we have a feel for what we want to do. So even though maybe we can't confirm it, it's like a pilot coming into a foggy runway, and he can't really do a visual on the landing strip, but he can rely on his orientation to the instrument to safely land at the finish line.
Which we did.
And Donna, anything you'd like to say?
I enjoyed playing here.
Good, and you get all these people in Cambridge are watching us through that little camera.
So I should look at them right
when you want to. If you want to look at them, you can. So you first said you wanted to talk about self-mastery.
Well, the element of self-mastery, or the pursuit, or I don't know what the right word is. It's not that this is something that we think we can achieve, but we believe that through making music, we can. It's another tool in our toolkit of trying to become more of who we truly are.
And it's actually something we experienced. I mean, in the context of us playing together, we observed how elements of our personal pursuits were exposed, and so it's something that we actually experienced in our playing together.
Yeah.
The possibility of evolving and eventual self-mastery, it's something that we experienced as we were rehearsing.
As you were rehearsing this?
Yeah. So it was not an abstract idea that we came up with, it was a real experience.
Oh, of mastering this particular...
In the context of mastering this piece, we came in touch with elements of our playing, personality, history as a musician and as a human being that were being exposed and addressed.
And we've all seen this on CCTV. So, may I ask a little biography question?
Sure.
Oh, so when did you begin, and when and why did you begin to practice, to play the
Or for no particular lofty reason besides that my father thought playing violin and learning French was part of education.
But you did love this, apparently.
I love the violin.
Yes.
I eventually learned to love it, but initially it was not really something that I wanted to do.
There's hope in all our relationships. Friends, family, you might not like it to begin with, but you can become as talented as Donna. Was there a moment when you discovered that you loved it?
More and more I'm discovering that I'm
yes.
loving it.
Sounds like a good motto for a mantra for a relationship, yes. I pray with my sweetheart every day. We pray this every day when we go to bed. May our love continue to grow better and better in every way, every day and night. And she always adds, I don't, she's brave. And deepen, she says.
Wonderful.
So it sounds like that happened in some ways with you in the violin. It's been something that's a relationship that is growing.
Yes, in the context of, my relationship with myself, it's growing. And I'm finding that violin, it's one way in which I like to express myself.
And Kevin, when did you start? I think you told us last time.
Well, for those of you that missed
yes, for those of you that missed it, but it's on, you can watch it. What was it called?
It's on the internet, but
it's called New Paradigm
with cello.
With cello, yes.
But anyway, I started when I was 12, and the only reason I started was because in my elementary school, a little lady came in with a cart with tambourines and books of music, and it was the general music hour of my school day. And I found it very, I didn't use the word irritating back then, but I didn't really like it. I didn't like the songs we sang, and I didn't like banging on a tambourine. So the opportunity came, well, if you played a string instrument, you could leave the room for the hour. And I wanted to play violin, but you had to rent a violin, but they didn't have anyone to play cello, so cellos were free. And my parents thought, well, I would probably not.
Let's hear it for destiny, or maybe God, yes? So what moves us to become who we are.
So anyway, so that I sort of came into it by accident, and but it was. I'm really glad that it occurred.
Yes, we are also. So, is there anything you can tell us about both this particular duo, both the music in it and the playing of it?
Well, I think that this particular piece was composed. I don't think Beethoven woke up in the middle of the night with this sudden inspiration, like da 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 da, and started writing. I think that there was probably some social component to the motivation of him, and he probably banged this out in a couple of hours, right? So
the social component meaning someone wanted to
hey, we're having a party, can you come, can you write a tune for us, I mean, I don't know, or he actually, since it's written for clarinet and bassoon, they probably had a couple friends that say, we don't have any music to play together, and so he wrote them maybe for, Anyway, but with that in mind, there's not a real lot of deep analysis, like what's really going on here, what's trying to be, what emotion is he trying to communicate? It's pretty happy, light stuff. But the thing is that in order to bring out the quality that it actually does have, it has to sound like you're not working very hard, but it's not particularly easy to do. So for us what we learned was that when we first read this, we thought I don't really like this very much. But as we practiced our parts and started interacting, we found that there was a lot more there than first met the eye. So to approach this was not so much about deciding how are we going to interpret this. There's really, I think it's pretty much like a slap in the face. There's pretty much one way to take it, right?
Yeah.
It's saying yes is what it's saying, right? So what with our approach was basically to try to agree on when directionally the notes seem to demand shorter or longer stroke, or dynamically how would we build momentum, or so it's more, I don't know if I would describe it as more of a technical approach to making a musical statement. I guess that's where I'll leave that.
And Donna?
Well, in this context, I would agree with what Kevin had to say about it. I mean, initially, I didn't think it's something that we want to perform, but as we improved our rendition of it, it revealed itself as being something worthwhile.
Well, we only have, I think, 12 more minutes, and I know you have a deeper piece for us to hear. Is that possible?
That's
Sure.
possible.
We
yes.
could hear it, and then we'd have a little time to talk about it.
We'll give it a shot.
Why don't you give us a very brief introduction to it?
The composer is Zoltan Kodály, who is was famous for his contributions to music education as well as his musical compositions. And one of his early pieces is a duo for violin and cello. And we are going to play the first movement. It has some elements of Hungarian folk music incorporated into it. And I think you'll like it. How's that?
Yes.
And it's very interesting to sort of come in here cold and give it a go. So we'll see you on the other side. What's that? I feel like smiling at this moment. It's actually a very serious piece, but I just can't help but sort of smile at the entire situation. So I hope you're enjoying yourself at home.
members of the audience? We only have a minute and 50 seconds. Have questions? Yes, over there on the left.
So that piece made me cry the whole time. It was so sad. And I'm curious, when you play it, do you feel like crying?
You know, it's funny. It's interesting to ask that question, because the ending of this movement, I used to say to Donna, I'd say, it's so sad, but it doesn't strike me that way anymore.
Yeah, but it's interesting. You are revealing a different aspect of it, and I'm sure actually next time we'll perform it, will because of what you brought in the piece through your presence, I think I will play it differently.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
That's really interesting too. I think the harmonic form of the minor scale and the Hungarian interval, the Hungarian declamatory statement and the harmonic context of this, it's inherently, I think it really does evoke an emotional response, whether it's really sad or just a mourning or there's a sense of something more that he's trying to communicate, I think, for sure.
Intense melancholia and yearning. So yearning and melancholy at the same time. What did you hear?
I just loved it.
I
So
loved
I'm
it.
learning from you. I was just so happy to just hear them playing it together. We have 13 seconds, Donna, if you have to say anything to say goodbye to people. Or Kevin.
Well, thanks for having us in your living room.
Oh my, thank you for joining us. See you next week. Thank you so much for being